Hey guys, Notorious here, and welcome to my Outriders build. This is my Deathproof and Firepower build. Now I'm just going to go over the skills, class, and then I'll go over the armor last as I did last time, but I'm going to go more in depth in explaining exactly how this build works. So, your skills you're going to need are Boulder Dash, Tremor, and Gravity Leap. Now, it might seem a little wonky at first, but let me explain to you exactly how each skill is going to play out. So, because of Deathproof on its main ability, as you see here, reduce the cooldown of Boulder Dash by 90%, increasing your firepower by 30% of your armor. So, Boulder Dash is going to be your main ability, plus the rest of the armor abilities, or armor mods we have on our armor, which I will explain in a minute. Tremor is used for healing. So basically this whole build is you are a glass cannon. If you've played Division, you're basically an all-red build. So we are a close-range glass cannon. You're not really going to be healing. You're not going to have tremendous survivability. You're meant to do damage. So your Tremor is the oh crap, I'm about to die button. So because of Tremor, it'll give you the healing you need, even though it's a little bit. If you have more enemies around you, you'll heal even more. Now your Gravity Leap is your oh crap button, and you click that to get yourself out of whatever situation it is. Or, if you are fighting the bosses in the trial, when they do these stupid, they hold their axe above their head, and then there's a bunch of swinging axes everywhere, that is one of the only things that can kill you in this build. So what you're going to do is you're going to hide up in your Gravity Leap, don't use it, and then once you come back down, just like roll to the side and activate again. I will show that later. But yeah, that's basically how you're going to be using these skills. Basically, always use Boulder Dash, Tremor is your oh crap button, and then Gravity Leap is your really oh crap button. Or you can use Gravity Leap really to jump across the map and get at enemies, which it's basically used for. Alright, now for the class. Now this is how I have mine set up, and to be honest, it is one of the most overpowered builds I've ever made due to one factor, and that is this mod down here for us Devastators. Now, Through the Mob happens to be incredibly broken. So basically, increases my armor by 50% for every enemy in close range. Now, I haven't got a picture currently in the time of me making this video, but probably by editing, I should have a picture of it. The highest I've seen things proc was 200 million armor and about 107 million firepower for a split second. Now the only way I achieve this is pretty much what you do is you have every little guy follow you, like all the melee ferals and the shotgun ferals, or if you're fighting the creatures, all the little red dudes, you have them follow you, and you go and you attack the elites and the birds first. And when you do that, you're stacking armor, which is stacking your damage. So it's very, very important you do this. So if you do it properly, even if you do it in the trials, you should be stacking at least anywhere between 10 million normally, and then 20, and then 30, and the highest I've hit is 70 million a shot. So it's pretty overpowered. So, what else is there? That stone circle increases your the range of your close range by 4 meters, so that brings us up to 14. Just a little bit more maximum health because we do go down a lot, especially between two factors, which would be the trial bosses, or if you're grinding for shoes in the little area where you have to do, what is it? It's like 3 waves. If you're fighting ferals and then the shaman comes out, he is literally the bane of our existence. He is the only guy I can't kill alone. You have to have somebody with you in order to defeat him. He just has too much health, and when he hides in his shield, it's too much. And then trying to keep everyone around you and dodge them and him and his incredibly amount of anomaly power, it just makes it a little too much to handle. So I normally do die, but if you have a friend, it would be recommended to fight him with a friend. As my phone goes off. What? Oh my god. What is this one? Alright, of course I'm going to butcher all of this, so I'm just going to read most of the stats. So when an enemy dies in close range, 20% of their armor is transferred to you for 10 seconds. So this is also really helpful because it is increasing our armor for every enemy that is dying to us in close range, that's all we're fighting in is close range. Now we have Champion. Champion is a very big part and a very big role, because whenever we're using our skill, we increase our weapon damage by 45% for 10 seconds. It is incredibly a big part of this build. Now with this build, I went all assault weapons, mainly because even though shotguns do an incredible amount of damage, somewhere between 30 to 40, which I will show on my other build, but the reason why is because we don't have a lot of healing, and the only way to heal without any weapon leech or anything is only in close range. So it's better just to lay down a bunch of bullets than shooting one at a time at one enemy and not really healing as much and doing more damage. Like, you're sacrificing doing more damage than really trying to heal and stay alive, because your survivability is all in close range. Remember, we're glass cannons. Alright, and then we have all the way over here. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking attempt to read that. Enemies who, enemies damaged, you will, have their physical damage reduced by 10% for 5 seconds. The effect is doubled if you damage the enemy as well. So you basically reduce their physical damage by 10%, which is incredibly useful. And then, of course, the very, very, very important must-have skill in this, Alter Charge, which that was very easy to read. When your kinetic skill ends, increase your weapon damage by 70% for 10 seconds. So that's why we're using Boulder Dash, since Boulder Dash comes back quick and it ends quick. So basically, you're getting the 70 damage from here, you're getting the 45% damage from Champion when Boulder Dash ends, and then we're going to move on to our Prax points that makes you even more overpowered. So, really, there's two ways you could run this. The best way, if you want higher survivability, you're going to have it the way I have it, and I have tested this. If you want more healing, you can go the top route, but to be honest, it's better to go this way. I've seen to survive better in trials with this way than having any kind of weapon leech, mainly because you're not really a heal build. Like, you're meant to do damage. So, having damage mitigation is better. But anyway, so this is the way you're going to run it. You're going to need to go bottom and then top. And so we're just going to go off from the beginning. So, Hunting Season increases our weapons damage by 30% and our magazine size by 50%. Really good, really helpful. Having a larger magazine is really good. And the increased damage is really nice. Now, Harden is really good because it increases our damage mitigation. From what I've gathered, what damage mitigation is the total amount of damage resistance. Not just resistance or your armor or whatever it is. It's your total person's damage resistance in general. So we get 5%, and then for how many enemies in close range? It's 2% up to 10. So that's a total of 15 reduced damage in general. So your survivability is 15% better.
Hey guys, this is me from the future talking to you. I wanted to make a quick note, is that I said to put on Hardened instead of Harvester. If you're playing with friends, it is best to put on Hardened. If you're playing alone, put on Harvester for the healing factor, so then you may heal. It was one thing I completely forgot and spaced about, so please put on Harvester for healing, and if you want less damage but no healing, put on Hardened. It really depends if you're playing with friends or not.
Right, and then we have, of course, Finishing Touch. Increase your weapon damage by the percentage of ammo missing from your magazine, and then Killing Shots replenish 35% of your magazine. So basically, as long as you're killing, you're never going to run out of ammo. I've already done this with my guns, which is why it's really good to have automatic weapons. or just the assault weapons in general, because the more you shoot, the more you rack your magazine. People are calling me. Stop calling me. I'm in the middle of doing this. Anyway. Oh! That was a mistake. You didn't see that. Oh, fucking A. Come on. Okay. Now, Armor Division. Now, this is another very important mod, and it's always on and it's always working. So, increase your armor piercing by 20%, reduce your kinetic skill by 50% of your armor piercing value, which helps you reduce your cooldowns, and increases your armor piercing. Now, this, against devastating odds, is the probably best thing that's ever happened to us for this build. Damaging at least 3 enemies with a kinetic skill grants you 30% armor piercing for 4 seconds. Damaging less enemies gives you critical hit shots for 4 seconds. Now, the great thing about this is you really... Having armor piercing is good. You shred through them faster. Having critical, it just makes you hit higher numbers. So, a really great thing about this is, even if you're not hitting enemies, like for instance, if there's no one around you, or you are running after an enemy with Boulder Dash and you don't hit them, you will still gain the critical hit bonus. So technically, you don't have to hit anyone if you want critical hit chance, which kind of helps our build a little bit, because I'm pretty sure in some of our mods we have critical hit chance. But do understand the main build... Oops, I went back. Our main... Where are they? In our main skills, we don't have much critical hit chance. Even with using your Ascendant level, we're not really a critical hit chance and damage build. This isn't Division. It's all about using your armor, as we see here, our armor, and your firepower, and then increasing that to a tremendous amount so then I can have god amounts of firepower. Alright, now I'm going to go over the build. Now understand this build isn't finished because I don't have the Apocalypse 3rd slot filled, but I do know exactly what to put where. Plus, this build is a little flexible on what guns you want to run and where to exactly put certain gun mods, but if you want a build set in stone, I can tell you exactly what to put where. Alright, let's start off with our guns. Now, these are the 3 guns that probably would be the best. Thunderbird. Now, why do I have sharing on? Stop that. Thunderbird is a really good assault rifle, just in general. Now, of course, as you see, it's not proper because I have the 3rd slot is not helping me, even though that's really all I got. So pretty much in your 3rd slot you want Fortress, and then it would have in the 1st slot the ability... Where is it? I have it on this. You would have Ultimate Storm Whip, which brings down lightning. Plus you have, I'm going to probably butcher that, Sturga, which 10% of your critical damage is returned to you as health. So basically, if you have the Thunderbird, there's multiple ways that you can fix it. So if you happen to have a Thunderbird with Fortress in the 3rd Apocalypse slot, you can keep Sturga, which would help increase your healing, which is actually on the list. That's if you really are having troubles with healing. Or you can get rid of that and keep the Ultimate Storm Whip, and you can change it for any of these mods. Now, the first thing you should always have on your guns, if you can, has to be Fortress. If Fortress isn't in the 3rd slot, you have to throw it on. That's the rule of thumb. If you already have Fortress, you can put Anomaly Enhancement, which I highly recommend. I think I have that. I have it right here on my SMG. So you passively receive a firepower boost of 40% of my anomaly power. That's why my SMG is now doing 4 million. The other things you can throw on here is Gravedigger's Frenzy. I think I have that here. Do I not have Gravedigger's Frenzy? I don't. I'll go to the thing in a second. So Gravedigger's Frenzy, Killing Spree, which I have on this gun. Now Killing Spree increases the shots... killing shots increase your damage by 13% of this weapon for 15 seconds. The bonus, it goes away over time, and it stacks up to 3 kills. So if my math is correct, 13 times 3 is... that's 26... that's 39% more damage for that weapon only. And then, I don't have this one. Employer's Rage, I believe it's called, which I'm going to go ahead and pull from here. Come on, you. I know I'm doing this with one hand, but come on, hurry up. Alright. What was it? So, Killing Spree, we already talked about that. Here it is. Gravedigger's Frenzy. Now, you can have this mod, really, the last two are really up to you how you feel it is. But if you really want it set in stone, just go with, you need Fortress, and highly recommend Anomaly Enhancement. Because you're gaining more damage, plus what Fortress is doing, which increases our armor and resistance up to 5% with a 3% or 3 times stack. And then at maximum stacks, we get that extra 25% damage increase. So that's why Fortress is very important. But if you happen to be like the Thunderbird, where you have Striga on it, you could easily just get rid of that to throw Anomaly Enhancement on, and then you just have increased health coming in, which just helps you with health. But if you don't want that, and you want the Lightning instead, then get rid of that and put Anomaly Enhancement. The other mod was... yes, I think it is a third? What is it again? It is, Embroider's Rage. Is it here? Give me a second. Here it is. So for 3 seconds after the killing shot, following shots will be a critical shot. So that's really up to you if that's what you guys want. Like, that's what makes this build so flexible. But if you can't find any that I have, you can do Ultimate Damage Link, which... damage link all the way down here somewhere. Here it is. Ultimate Damage Link or Normal Damage Link. This is untested. We're in uncharted waters when you mess with Damage Link, because, to be honest, I don't know if it works. So if you can't find any of those mods and all you have is Damage Link or Ultimate Damage Link, having 2 of those would be really good as well. But what I've originally told you with Anomaly Enhancement or Killing Spree, really, those are really what you're going for. And of course you have to have Fortress. Now, we're going to go over the armors. Okay. Oh, I also didn't even tell you about the weapons. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not even thinking. The other weapon you can have is this. I'm going to so butcher that. I'm pretty sure it's the Dangyo? Dangyo? The Dangyo. Sure. Where's my phone? The Dangyo. Whatever. This is a very good SMG. Even though it's a tactical SMG. And because of the way it rolled, it is incredibly amazing. As long as you're okay with burst weapons. Alright. The Amber's Vault is a very good double gun. It comes with Killing Spree on it. I had to throw Fortress on it. If Fortress was in the 3rd slot, I would throw Anomaly Enhancement on here, and then this would probably push all the way up to, that's definitely not the stats, go back down, I know you're 3 point, yep. It would probably bring it up to either 3.5 million or even somewhere close to 4 million. So, another really good gun. I'm going to quickly throw on this to show you its stats. Now remember, there's no way you're 4 million.2. That's not possible. Sometimes the game glitches out. I know it's not 4.2. The reason how I know this is because this does not have anything on it. Unless maybe it's because of close range damage is increasing. Sometimes the game kind of glitches out with this build. Do be wary that you may crash due to the amount of armor you're getting. So that is a little thing. Even though it says 4.2 million, that could be correct. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm 90% sure it's 3.5 million because as soon as I leave this, it's going to change. Alright, so I don't know why it's showing that. Okay. So yes, those are the 2 weapons. There is another SMG. I don't know what it's called, but I do know what it has on it. It has vulnerable, and it has, it's in here. It has, can I get a gun, please? It has, where is it? This on it. It has flesh renders. Successful shots create a spike under the enemy, dealing 50% firepower. If you find this SMG, it is a really good SMG. I don't know what it's called. It kind of looks like mine. It's blue, but it's a fully automatic. It's a really good one. It's like equivalent to the Sunfall almost, even though Sunfall, of course, is one of the best SMGs. But those are going to be the 4 weapons you're going to be looking for. I'm sorry if this is kind of confusing. This build is a lot. Now let's just go over the armor and the armor mods. Again, please pay no mind to the 3rd armor slot, because that is not what you want. Alright, so for your Deathproof mask, you're going to keep the Boulder Dash, the first perk, and the reason why is because when you use Boulder Dash, you permanently reduce the resistance of all damaged enemies by 30%. Now, if I'm correct, reducing the resistance of an enemy makes them more vulnerable to damage. Dum bullets, which increases my assault rifle or assault weapons by 12%. This is pretty much a must-have because we're using assault weapons. Alright, yes, you're going to keep... Does that say primal armor? Right, so primal armor. I'm sorry if I'm not reading all of them, mainly because you guys should know I can't read. So you're going to keep the primal armor, which is for the Boulder Dash. This one is very important and helps a tremendous amount. Double your armor when skill ends for 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure it stacks. I'm not quite sure if it stacks, but basically it is incredibly useful. So I go from 1.7 million to 3.4, if I'm correct. But of course, with all our other stacks, it's somewhere around like 5 million normally. And then, of course, you need Damage Absorber. Very important. You have to have this on. Increase your armor by 650,000 and your resistance by 10%. For your pants, we're going to keep Boulder Dash again. Every enemy damaged by the skill increases your weapon damage by 20% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. And then you need to throw on Plate Piercer, increasing our critical hit damage by 40%. Bonus is equal to your armor piercing, which we have a tremendous amount of, which, no, that one. So armor piercing is now at 80, and our critical hit damage is at 70. That's because I have the wrong gun on, put that on. Now it's 147. Nope. Why do I keep doing that? I'm so used to doing other shit. Pants. Now for the gloves, you're going to keep Death's Door, which doubles your armor whenever your health drops below 30%, which will always happen. Plus, there's, well, yeah, that's the only way. And then you need Personal Space, which grants 12% more bonus to close-range weapon damage. And for the boots, you need Life as a Party. Incoming damage is reduced by 6% for each enemy in close range, stacks up to 4 times. The only reason why that's on there is for your survivability. And then you need Under Pressure. Being affected by any status grants you 216,000 armor and 4 resistance for every second, stacks up to 5 times. So if you're affected by 5 status effects, you are pulling a crap ton of armor and resistance. Oh, my food's here. Yeah. Alright, now for the mods that you need in the Apocalypse 3rd slot. So, let's go into here. Alright, armor. This. Okay, Sharp Eye. I'm pretty sure it's all the way down here. Nope, but that is also on our list. So, Staring into the Barrel. Staring into the Barrel boosts our firepower by 174,000. For each enemy in close range, stacks up to 4. So this is going to be one of the mods you're going to need. I don't remember where Sharp Eye is. Alright, Sharp Eye, I think it's over here. Sharp Eye, here it is. Critical shots when aiming down sight grants you 232,000 firepower for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Mitigation of death. Mitigation of death. Killing enemies while aiming down sights grants 216,000 armor for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Here it is. Wait a minute. Now, barrel roll, which I think is up here. Or no, it might be down here. Here it is. Oh no, that's plated dodge. So plated dodge and barrel roll are pretty much the same thing. Whenever you roll, I'll have to find the other one. But plated dodge, when you roll, increases your armor by 650,000 for 4 seconds. And then barrel roll, wherever that is. Here it is, barrel roll. Finally found it. Rolling increases our firepower by 232,000 for 6 seconds. So plated dodge and barrel roll are going to work hand in hand. So each time you dodge, you're going to gain increased armor, which increases your weapon, your firepower, and then you're going to also increase firepower in general. So yeah, that's basically exactly how this mod is. And yeah, so if you guys have liked it, and hopefully you guys do, because it is incredibly overpowered, go ahead and like and sub to the channel. Let me know what you think about in the comments. And as always, guys, my name is Notorious. Have a wonderful day.